It is Monday. We have
Happy
had
Monday,
the weekend.
everybody.
We've had more thought, 48 hours to really grasp and come to terms with our overreaction on Saturday. So we want to ask, upon further review, are we baseless in everything we said? Or, Daniel, is it true that this is the best defense ever conceived in the history of college football? Upon further review, we'll let you know right after this.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I'm Daniel. He is Clint, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. I know that. And so we're excited to be here. Happy Monday. As Clint said, this episode is all about digesting the information that we've taken it in.
Okay.
All right. And then, as you know, sometimes when you eat something,
this is going to go well.
It's good. There's an instantaneous, it does something to you, and it's like it happens. But then over time, as you begin to process and digest,
as it matriculates down,
then sometimes it's the same. Like that, sometimes the feelings are the same. Sometimes the feelings change. College football is really no different, Clint.
No, it's not.
And both give me a lot of indigestion, and I should probably be healthier when it comes to the things I eat and the amount of college football I consume. But I digress. Let's talk about what we saw on Saturday, and let's talk about how we feel about it now. By the way, thank you all for being here. So excited to have you. If you are new to the show, if you're just finding the show, subscribe to whatever audio podcast platform you listen to podcasts on. You can find us on all of those, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everyone who has done that. Let me tell you. Go ahead.
This is very big in review, because this is the last time we're going to have to review before we make prognostications about Saturday SEC play.
SEC opponent.
So we better come away with some digestive ability of what happened. So this is very important, is what I'm saying, Daniel. Your words, choose them carefully, because it's going to lead into your predictions for this coming week. By the way, we're going to have crossover Locked On SEC, or SC will be with us. South Carolina Locked On will be this week. So
probably Wednesday we'll have Andrew on. Really excited to talk.
Good dude.
Great. It's a great dude. Covers South Carolina really well. And so if you're looking for some inside info on the Gamecocks, he's the guy to talk to, and we're going to have him on Wednesday. But for today, Clint, let's look back. I'm going to let you start as you reflect on the defense and the performance of the defense on Saturday. You had some strong takeaways coming out of the game. It certainly wasn't a perfect showing by any stretch of the imagination. And we're not here to sugarcoat, or we're going to call things like we see them. How are you feeling about this defense upon further review?
Upon further review, you're going to get really nitpicky people out there, and myself included, yourself, Daniel, included as well. We can get very, very litigious when it comes to certain small nuances, like the cornerback position. It does concern me. I'm going to rely on Kamari Lassiter's last season so far, and the fact that we're not in a full rhythm yet. I'm banking that one, but upon further review, cornerback position is a little, makes that queasiness, makes that Sonic 3 a.m. feel.
If
sometimes.
I could interject here, Kamari Lassiter certainly does not seem like the prototypical lockdown corner that Georgia has had each of the last several years under Kirby Smart.
And the stuff we predicted as well, Daniel. We said that he was going to have a coming out tour again this year.
We sure did. And the other side of the field, Clint, I did see some things that I liked late in that game from Dalen Everett particularly. And so if we could just stick on corner for a second, I'll let you get to the other positions.
No, go for it.
I didn't get to mention this on Saturday, but I did see some stuff I really liked from him in particular. Now, Julian Humphrey repping a ton at that spot. Nyland Green also getting run at that spot. But to me, Dalen Everett feels like he's going to be the guy at that second corner position. And I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of things I did not like so far in the season. But towards the end of that game on Saturday, I did see some things that I really did appreciate. Really sticking on guys' hips. Really got a hand in there, broke up a pass on a quick little slant route late in the game, which is a tough play to defend. A timing route that he was just right on top of where the receiver was breaking. Got a hand in there, didn't interfere, but was able to break up the pass. So I would love to see continued progression from him because it seems like we're going to have to play corner in by committee this year, if you will. Instead of having a shutdown side of the field and a guy who just eats up everything else, we're going to have to be equally yoked, if you will, Clint.
Oh, okay. Wow. Sometimes that burden is light over there.
Today's episode brought to you by eHarmony. Apparently.
Not an official sponsor, just so our legal department.
But reach out. But reach out, eHarmony, if you'd like.
Upon further review, Daniel, I say that to set this up. I don't care who plays corner because we have the best two safeties in the SEC. I don't care.
Best
three. Well, I'm reserving understanding until that boot comes off, Daniel, because
we don't like a boot.
I don't like a boot.
But when the boot's off, we got the best safeties in the SEC.
And so you can rotate. This is actually, which is why it doesn't bring me so much consternation, because if Kirby wants to rotate guys, that's fine. I got Malachi Starks in the back, and I got Tyke in the back, and they are locking fools down everywhere. So
sure,
I'm fine. Did you see a blown coverage on Saturday that Malachi Starks made up for and intercepted the ball? Because I sure did.
Boy, that interception, Clint. That interception.
It was exactly like Oregon all over again.
But week 1, he mistimes his jump a little bit.
He did.
Or he would have had another one. He's got a move, Clint, and the move is the quarterback thinks he's out of position. The quarterback thinks, I'll drop it right over his head. And Malachi Starks gets on the elevator, and he goes to the top floor, and he says, I'll take the ball right here.
This should be a position, or this should be, you know what? We're going to give this as an award every year. I've just deemed it so.
The Trevies are coming up.
We haven't done the Trevies in a while. Maybe Kentucky week, we do a little Trevi flashback. Mm-hmm. The Trevies are going to come back. I'm going to name it the eraser position.
Oh, yeah.
Nakobe Dean, Roquan Smith, Malachi Starks. Those are prototypical erasers. Just in the middle. Again, you had a blown coverage left side. You had a wide receiver streaking down the sidelines. A well-placed ball. Look, Ball State quarterback, it was not a bad throw. It was actually a pretty dang accurate throw.
Absolutely.
It just so happens Malachi Starks is better than your accurate throw, which is insane. Normally, you can't defend a perfect pass. And that pass wasn't perfect, but it was very, really close to a great throw, if not a great throw. He erased it. It was over. So upon further review, we got the best safeties in the entire country, and I don't care who plays corner.
That is accurate. We have more thoughts. We have more to discuss from Georgia's game right after these.
And these are Athletic Brewing Company. Daniel, sometimes in life, you think to yourself, man, it'd be really great if midday I can go ahead and feel a crisp IPA or a good old stout or some sort of light lager in my system. But lo and behold, I got a screened-in porch to take care of. I got a lunch meeting to get to.
We're trying to get some work done here.
I can't do that. Oh, wait, what if I tell you that you have the sensation, the taste, the award-winning taste of a non-alcoholic brew, Athletic Brewing Company, and you can go ahead and enjoy that anytime you want. At your kid's game, it's no longer a stigma to bust out because it's not alcoholic.
Yes.
Y'all,
it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Athleticbrewing.com. Right now, our listeners can put in promo code Locked On and get 15% off their entire order. That's athleticbrewing.com. Put in promo code Locked On for 15% off your entire order right now to our listeners, Athletic Brewing, non-alcoholic brews that tastes better than anything else you've tasted. All right, Daniel, I did the defense. Anything else upon further review? You can stay on the defensive side, or you can go offense, or you can go big picture. Anything else in review from this last weekend you'd like to digest further?
Yeah, let's stick. Let's not go big picture yet.
Okay.
Let's stick with individual position groups. We came on Saturday, and I was absolutely thrilled with the wide receiver position. Absolutely loved what I saw there, and going back, watching it again, going back and really looking.
Yep.
I feel the exact same way that I did. I think all of the offseason thoughts about Dom Lovett and the way that he was going to impact this offense, they all came flooding back all of a sudden. But it's not an individual guy to me. It's the diversity of weapons and the willingness of this quarterback in particular. Now, Carson didn't have a perfect game either. Carson had, he certainly didn't play, the perfect game. I didn't hear so many people clamoring for the backups to
There was still a few
more run.
I'm going to get to them here in a moment after you finish your thought.
I'd rather you didn't. But Carson didn't play a perfect game, but I did think that the willingness of Carson Beck to go where the play dictated. You would hear Todd Monk and Kirby Smart talk about that a lot. You know that Bobo has the same philosophy. We got a bunch of guys out there. We're not putting people out there on the field who aren't perfectly capable of making plays on the ball, and that includes Cash Money Jones, who said, "I'll just go over my right shoulder here, and I'll just whip this thing out of the air, get a foot down on the side of the end zone, and take it in for 6." There's nobody Georgia's putting out there that's not perfectly capable of making a play.
Correct.
Now, is the tendency always going to be the ultimate security blanket still plays for the Georgia Bulldogs, right?
Who's the best player in college football?
The best player in college, the best football player.
Yep, say more.
Is Brock Bowers. He plays football better than any of the other football players play football.
Correct.
In football. So you're always going to have that out there, but if I may.
You may.
Upon further review, Brock Bowers didn't have a very good game on Saturday.
Upon further review, Brock Bowers wasn't the best player on the field this last Saturday.
He wasn't. Now, he still is.
Correct.
He still is the best player because
dichotomy in life is complex.
It is. Two things can be true at the same time. But on Saturday, he was not the best player on the field. He didn't have his best game. Now, nobody's clamoring for Brock Bowers to get less playing time or fewer targets or any of that stuff.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, some people might be, but those people are the same people that are tweeting all manner of things right now.
Execution.
Which we shan't be getting into, Clint. We shan't.
Execution.
We shan't.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Brock Bowers didn't have his best game, but the receiving core as a whole really picked up the slack. And that was the observation, the takeaway upon further review. Did my opinions about the wide receivers change? No, they didn't. I'm still thrilled. I'm thrilled with what Marcus Rosemary brings to the table this year. Stay healthy, young man. Stay out on the field. Show these young pups what it means to perimeter block.
Come on.
And go over the middle and catch touchdowns all day long. That's what you're going to do. Ra Thomas, Dominic Lovett. There are so many great weapons. Muse, obviously. CJ Smith, obviously. There are so many great weapons that this team has. Oscar Delp had a better game than he did in week 1. The bell cow wasn't up to the standard that we're normally used to seeing out of him, but that makes me more impressed with this receiving core.
Okay, thank you. I'm now going to go on a diatribe, if I will, that upon further review, all of you who don't understand how an offensive system is ran, and you like the shiny thing that runs fast and can huck a ball 60 yards down the field without understanding.
If I may, Clint, why would I want to win a national championship driving a Honda Accord?
Thank you, Daniel.
When I could drive a Maserati and go 10-2.
You parlayed this exactly. Last year and the year before, people telling us Stetson Bennett is like a Honda Accord. He's not going to get you anything, except that he got us 2 national championships back to back. He got us everything.
He's only going to get you everything.
He's going to get you everything. Well, it doesn't look cool. Oh, okay.
We have no comeback for that, by the way.
You're right. I don't care. How's your BMW payments going? How's that cool $2,200 a month going?
Just to keep this analogy going for college football, Texas A&M, how are your BMW payments going?
Thank you.
Because that's literally what you're out here paying for.
Okay.
How's it going?
It looks cool, but it doesn't.
It looks
get
cool
you
to Mario
to
Cristobal too, when he just absolutely skull drags you all over
Mario
the field.
Cristobal, who can't coach his way out of a wet
anything but Super Mario, just absolutely destroyed you.
Okay. I cannot stress this enough. Everybody out here clamoring from quick, decisive, confident, huck the ball down the field 60 yards. When you have receivers like you do, you just listed all of them: Rah, Lovett, Bowers, Oscar Delp, hurdling over folk on the sideline, and incredible Muse, Bell. I mean, just Rosemary Jackson. All of them go on and on and on. I haven't even talked about CJ Smith, who I love. You remember a couple of years ago, Daniel, there was a name that Georgia fans were clamoring about. We signed a quarterback. He played baseball and football. We didn't sign him. Sorry. He was committed. Signing day comes. He flips on over. We miss out. Whole segment of Dog Nation up in arms. The same segment that were up in arms that Kirby Smart was hired as head coach. Same exact. The Venn diagram is just one big circle for these people. They were pissed off that John Reese Plumlee signed elsewhere and didn't come to Georgia. Why? Because he was fast, mobile, and he had a can of an arm that can huck it downfield. He's a pitcher in baseball, for crying out loud. He can throw a baseball
95 miles an hour, Clint.
There you go. See? Okay, so he doesn't. Now, I beseech you, I implore you,
please.
Which outcome do you want today? Because Plumlee's on, I think, his third school, and he's better at baseball than he is football, and he hasn't won anything at all, and we dodged a bullet.
Sure.
I hate to break it to you, but that's Brock. Now, he could change. I'm not saying it's set in stone. He could change, okay? I happen to prefer Gunner, but like we said on this podcast, it doesn't matter what I prefer.
It doesn't matter what you prefer.
It literally, whoever is going to make us win, Kirby's going to play, and if that's Carson,
that's Brock, we love that.
We like whoever it is. But I'm going to tell you why. Carson Beck is the guy that's going to get this offense on rhythm and not just huck it 60 or run 10 or run 5 or run 3 or run -10 or -20. He's going to be a guy that gets on rhythm, spreads the ball around, as we saw 10 Georgia players had a reception in the first half last game. Daniel?
This is what I'm talking about. This is sort of the thing that I'm trying to bring up. That's 2 hands full of
It's a lot
receivers.
of hands. That's how horses
as many
are
as I
measured.
have. It's all of the. It's as many. Clint is miming over there. If you're listening on audio, you made a wise choice today. Let me just say this as we close out, maybe on the offense, and we'll get to the third segment. Where for the 199, I've got some other things that I want to discuss. Because Georgia wasn't the only team I watched play football on Saturday. So, if that's not a tease to stick around for the third segment, let me just close with this on the offense. The offense is playing well. If you're a Mike Bobo hater, please go away. If you're a Carson Beck hater, please go away. If you're a first quarter scoreboard watcher, please go away. Like, literally leave. It's fine.
If you think our offense is bad and you hate it, you hate demolishing, then all it can go is up from here.
That's
which
great.
is what can be better than 42, 40, 45, 48
score 50s,
points
I guess, every game.
Okay, sure.
The offense is fine. The offense is getting better. there's still something about this offense that doesn't look like it's there yet. And it's hard to put my finger on. This is not a helpful, really, analysis. It's not intended to be. Is it the offensive line play? Is it the running game? Is it the running backs? Is it something along those lines? But there's still something. I don't know that it's any of those things specifically. I've tried to make it one of those things. There's something about this offense that's not clicking. That being said, not clicking so far is just absolutely steamrolling people.
We're playing left-handed and we're crushing fools.
So listen, if that bothers you, cool. If you need me, stop needing me. All right. We'll be right back right after these for the 199 in the third segment.
And these are FanDuel. Daniel,
Yes.
we have to admit to the folk,
Can we not?
In the
FanDuel
locks.
is a great place to go to make your wagers. If you have wagers that you like, that you came up with in your head, if you have bets that you want to make, FanDuel is the place that you would go. I don't recommend that you take other people's betting advice. It's just generally, it's not a good practice. It's not a good principle.
But a good practice is FanDuel because
You should go to FanDuel and make your own decisions because, Lord help us, the locks, they only can get better from here, just like the Georgia offense.
There we go. FanDuel is safe. It's reliable. It's the official sportsbook of Locked On Bulldogs and Locked On Podcasts everywhere. They have all the parlays, all the money lines, everything that you need for college football to wager. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Right now, get bonus bets. Bet $5, get $100 on top of that, and bonus bets right back to you. FanDuel, promo code Locked On. You get $5 right now, get $100 in bonus bets right back to you. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Okay.
Welcome,
Daniel.
199.
199. Get in those show notes. Find the subtext. Talk to us. We have been having a blast talking to all y'all.
The subtext is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a great time. A lot of you joined up on over the weekend.
Yeah.
Happy to have you. Feel free, by the way, in the subtext, if you've got show ideas, if you've got questions that you want us to answer on the show, that's a great place for that. Great way to interact with us. Ask us some things. We might just respond and give you our thoughts and our opinions. Might send you a quick video just right there, or
you might just wind up on the show.
Text you back, or if it's if it's a certain type of question, we might make a whole segment out of it, bring it onto the show. That's the community that it's the best way to communicate with us. If you could try it for free for 14 days, see if you like it. It's in the show notes. Clint.
Yeah. I have a hot take on this game, by the way.
What?
I have a hot take on this game, by the way. You were told.
I was told that because he smiled, Clint, that meant, what that had meant was Kirby was still on his staff, and he still had Jerry Jeudy and Jalen Waddle playing wide receiver.
Nope, they're gone. Nope, he's gone. They're gone.
And everything was going to be like 2009 again. That's what I was told.
Here's the deal. Again, this is a rule in life.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply this to your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children, your in-laws, your football coach,
or
and
Alabama football.
She doth protest too much.
She's saying a lot.
It's from Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at it.
When
you try to use an abundance of words to convince me of something,
yes,
you're trying to convince yourself of something.
Here we go.
That is not true.
Like how elite this offensive line is, Clint?
Like how elite the offensive line is. CJ Latham is not worth a day 1 nor day 2 draft pick.
You've been on this, by the way. Just give a little props to my guy over here. You've been on the overratedness of this offensive line for months and months now.
I've been telling it to every single podcast that I go on.
And they let me just say this. Texas got a pretty stout defensive front.
They do.
Alabama didn't just get whipped by Texas on the offensive line. By the way, that true freshman that they got starting at left tackle does not belong here.
Not just by here, we mean in SEC football.
That's your best option at left tackle?
We had a day like that where Catalina was our best option.
I remember John Theus as much as the next guy. So here we go. Now
that's a 5-yard penalty.
He false started just now.
False started just now.
Wherever he was just sitting down eating dinner, and he went like this. Yeah. So, John, we love you.
We love you.
Come on the show, John.
We would.
It's not that they got whipped by Texas.
No.
Go back and watch the MTSU game, Clint. They didn't look good in that game either.
And this is my hot take from this game. They are bad on the offensive line. And when you don't have a quarterback that can throw and is only mobile and is a power runner, which, by the way, the first drive, your running backs and quarterbacks, Alabama, were paving the way for the entire game. They were bruising. The offensive line was not. The running backs and quarterback were bruising. And then you abandoned the only thing you do well.
Now, hang on, because Tommy Rees, Clint, was a exceptional hire. How hard in the paint was Kirk Herbstreit trying to go for Tommy Rees last night? I mean, good Lord.
Too much. How many more times can that rule be applied?
Good Lord, man. Just watch.
What? So here's my hot take. Texas, I'm not taking anything away from Texas. Okay?
No. Texas is a playoff contender.
They are a playoff contender. Texas didn't win the game as much as people are making as Alabama pissed it away. Because Alabama is bad on offensive line, bad at play calling, and have a quarterback that can't throw. Alabama's not Alabama. It's kind of like...
Well, what if I told you they were?
Oh, see, now, that's interesting.
What if I told you Murderball was dead and gone? It'll never be those years again.
Can you tell me...
This is it.
Can you tell me about a time that the shift happened in Alabama?
Oh, God, no. Well, so there was the Mickey Mouse 2020 season that where nobody played a full schedule.
Nobody played anything, okay.
And the Big Ten didn't really have a football program.
Nope, didn't have a football.
So,
couldn't field anything.
So there was that season, and then, what else has changed?
Did something else historical happen to Alabama and Georgia's program about the same?
I can't think of it. I can't think of any
coincidental time that
transition.
Kirby Smart left, and I saw this on Twitter.
Was that it?
I saw this on Twitter, and this is just wild to me because again, logic. Logic is fun. If Kirby Smart was not the reason that good, fundamental, sound football left Alabama,
okay,
and Nick Saban is the king of all things,
okay,
why hasn't he taught it to anybody else at Alabama?
Like, when Kirby left, why did the philosophy become, let's hire Sark and Lane Kiffin and try to score as many points as we possibly can because the defense is going to be doo-doo every single year?
Because we won't be able to stop anybody. Because the man who's been doing it for years is now gone. And I'm a fraudulent spokesperson with Pat McAfee.
I'm just boy, there's never been two people that had less in common and yet more in common.
You deserve each other.
They kind of do deserve each
other.
They do. It's a lot to take in. Yeah. It's a lot to digest. Also, Auburn, congratulations on beating Cal by 4 points.
We're going to talk about this later on in Locks, but there were some bad beats that happened to us.
It was a bad card. I'll acknowledge that.
I admit nothing.
But there was your boy didn't deserve everything he got.
We got some gremlins. We're going to come back. We're going to talk all week long leading up to South Carolina. We're going to have a crossover episode. We're going to talk about it, give you our predictions, give you better locks this week. This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
See ya.